The meme stock GameStop is actually turning into a legit ass company that may be worth over $300 a share very soon. So I already know that most of y'all watching this only got into GameStop because it was laughing giggles, you thought it was a meme stock, and you were like, you know what, I'm gonna try to ride the wave to make some money. But what if I told you that GameStop is on its way to legitimacy and is creating its own wave? Why do I say this? Because they're completely wiping away their old business model, which was just completely retail sales, and converting over to a e-commerce business. Not to mention, they're going to be selling all sorts of products for gamers all around the world, no matter what type of gamer you are. So will this meme stock actually become a legitimate, real stock that could be worth over $300 based on their actual evaluation due to the company making X amount of dollars? I don't know, but we're going to be breaking it down in this episode of Money Drama. But before we do, be sure you give the video a thumbs up so more investors like you can see it. Subscribe to Bullish for more content like this, and be sure to share the video if you learned something new. All right, let's get into it. All right, so as I told y'all in the intro, it says right here on the article, GameStop shares fall 33% on lack of transformation deal. And this is all about, like I said, about their reformation of their business, since now they're just going to get out of, selling games in retail stores and consoles. They're about to try to change the game and expand. All right, so let's go down. All right, GameStop missed on the top and bottom lines of quarterly results, which basically means that they missed their damn target. They didn't hit it. All right, but here's the thing. E-commerce sales jumped 175% last quarter and accounted for more than a third of its sales in the period. Now, y'all know why I wear this red headband, right? It's for Roaring Kitty, of course. You know, the guy who's made like $1 million on GameStop and was down like $2 million, but he was still like, I got diamond hands, baby. How can you not admire that? I say that because GameStop's e-commerce has just jumped 175% over this last quarter. Now, when Roaring Kitty had that hearing about he manipulated the price of GameStop alongside with others in Reddit and Wall Street Bets and influenced people, which was a bunch of bullshit to say the least, he often even talked about other than I like the stock, he talked about how the e-commerce position could be repositioning and it could be bouncing back, which is why he liked the stock and others liked the stock, myself included. So with that being said, this is kind of like his theory coming in reality, right? Because GameStop is now focusing more on the e-commerce side of the business, which is why they brought on the former CEO of Chewy to help them out when it comes to e-commerce, because everybody knows that's how you make money in this day and age, especially when we were like dead in the pandemic and now it's looking kind of like a post-pandemic. But still, even after the pandemic, you have to be online to survive in business. All right, let's go down. GameStop also acknowledged in a filing that it was considering selling additional equity shares, which obviously means that they want to sell more shares for this new operation that they want to go in on because it's going to require more money to do so. All right? And if enough people like the stock, they're going to be just fine. All right, during a much anticipated earnings conference call that at one point reached maximum capacity, damn, a lot of people like this stock. The company declined to answer questions. All right, now because of their vagueness and what they're exactly going to be doing during this new operation, of course they are not going to answer any questions, okay? Because, they don't want to say anything that they don't even know. And it's probably like I said, they probably don't even fully know to the scope of what's going to happen. But what I do know and what I have heard is that GameStop is actually going to turn into a micro center, but for games, where they're going to sell gaming chairs, gaming accessories, just everything that has to do with gaming, computers, keyboards, you name it. They're going to do it to kind of expand from just, selling console video games and consoles, which would make sense because it is called GameStop, no? Here's what the company announced after the bell Tuesday. It released fiscal fourth quarter results that missed Wall Street's estimates on the top and bottom lines, which that's not really a surprise because we knew GameStop was a declining company, but because of their upside of how now they can get more into e-commerce and sell even more, I think that's why a bunch of people like the stock. Well, some people who actually look into stocks and just don't jump into a meme stock that is like on the rise, you know what I'm saying? In its latest executive shakeup, the company named former Amazon and Google executive Jenna Owens as its new chief operating officer. Now this is news to me. I never heard of Jenna, but for her to come from Amazon and Google, she must like GameStop and the stock. And the hint of its transformation that's got some investors excited about the stock. All right, so obviously we know in 2021, very early on, we had this historic squeeze that also has a movie coming out about it, which was centered around the Wall Street bet community. That's also me. I'm a part of that. All right, though I didn't get involved with the squeeze very early on, I was holding it at some point, okay? It wasn't anything crazy. I wasn't like Roaring Kitty. But because obviously I got the influence from him for what he did with GameStop and subsequently lost 90% of its value. By the way, when this was all happening, we already know about this, right? But when this was all happening, it's just funny how the rich and the mega wealthy were trying to just tell, people that are in the middle class and the poor that you can't do this. But however, the rich stay rich because they constantly invest the money that they make, but the poor and the middle class stay within these two classes because usually they just spend what they obtain and they don't save anything. But it's funny, the rich always talks about investing money, but the moment the poor and the middle class start to invest their money, the rich have a problem. I don't like that. GameStop still has a market capitalization of nearly $13 billion through Tuesday's close, 10 times the $1.3 billion market value the stock had at the end of last year. A year ago, GameStop's market capitalization was $245 million. When I read that, my heart really hurts because this was one of my free stocks that RH gave to me very early on in my investing career, and I just sold that shit like it wasn't anything. Now it's funny that it's coming back around and it's still on the rise, okay? And that pretty much wraps up this article. So let's kind of conclude this and bring this full circle. Here's the thing. If you're holding GameStop, or if you're thinking about buying GameStop, to me at this very moment, it really sounds like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but from that time that I had a free stock of GameStop like a year ago and to now, it really sounds like that they're trying to survive the onslaught that they have been going through over the recent years because as we know, once again, this company has been in a steady decline because the only thing that they could offer to the market was like, hey, come into our retail stores and buy yourself a gaming console or buy yourself a game. That's all they really had. They never really had an e-commerce presence. It wasn't like, I could go online and I could play games for free. That innovation was never a part of GameStop. But from reading this article, from, having a new COO that is from Google and Amazon, that sounds like a really big fucking deal, which it is, to also onboarding the former CEO of Chewy, which is strictly an e-commerce business that is killing it. That's a smart move. To also announcing, though there was a lack of detail about their change in their business model, that's also pretty exciting. What I do know from reading this article and just having this in my mind is that the GameStop that we now know is going to completely change, okay? And change can be for bad or it can be for good, obviously. But in GameStop's case, I think it is ultimately for good that they're going to be adding on more components to their business to make even more money. And they're also going to be raising money through offering more equity shares, which makes it sound like to me, like, damn, they about to spend some money out here, okay? So GameStop is actually going to do what it takes to continue. Now, obviously, with the stock being at its current price, because so many people like the damn stock, Because obviously the price of GameStop does not correlate with the company, which basically means GameStop ain't making that much for the stock to be at like around $100 at the time of making this video. However, I feel like from the moves that they are making, they definitely see that it can be there one day. And hey, I never thought I would say this, even though I like the stock. Okay, full disclaimer, I really just got in because it was going crazy. You know, I was like, okay, I do some day trading here and there, and I was like, okay, I'm going to get in here, I'm going to get out here. And sure, it's gambling, right? This is a casino. Trading that stock is gambling, essentially. But I took a risk on it. Now that you know that, with the disclaimer away, and to look at GameStop as a long-term investment, I'm actually really interested to see what GameStop does to transform their business and to actually get them on the right footing to actually be a pretty big player in this space. I think it's absolutely possible from the moves that they're making. Again, they're raising more money through equity shares. They probably have made a shit ton of money from everything that's been happening to the stock over the last year. And hey, who's not to say that GameStop can actually get put on the map and do great things moving forward? All right? But be sure to let me know what you all think. Please leave a comment down below if you're currently in GameStop, if you have held GameStop, or you can share some of your stories about your gains and losses when it came to GameStop. I'm actually very interested in this. Please be sure to subscribe for more bullish content like this and give this video a thumbs up so more people can see this video, because I know more people out there like the stock. All right, I'll be speaking to y'all soon, and I'll see y'all in the next Money Drama.